Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. Gall Hill residents are tonight shedding light on a violent situation that continues to claim the lives of many of their loved ones. It follows the second shooting in just over 24 hours in which two supposed friends were gunned down within walking distance of each other. Kareem Smith has the story.
Just over 24 hours after 40-year-old Orwin Moore was gunned down at Caneville Crescent in Christchurch, just a stone's throw away, another man has been shot dead, and it has residents living in terror. The most recent victim is 37-year-old Sean Taylor of Lodge Road, Christchurch. According to residents, he was shot after 9:30 at this house. Most of them are too scared to speak on camera, but one woman who lives just next door says she was sitting in her veranda when the gunman approached.
I didn't know which direction he come from, but I hear he asked a question. I didn't sure what question he asked. Also was sitting here, then I hear one pop, so I decided to get up and run and go inside. Then I hear next loud explosion. The gentleman that was sitting here, he decided to run inside. The young lady that was on the other side, opposite of my house, where part of the shooting was being take place, she also decided to run inside. And there was probably several more shots, but I ain't too sure how much shots there was.
She says gun violence in the Gall Hill area is getting so bad that children are now being taught from an early age how to cope with shooting incidents.
I just encourage them that when they hear gunshots, get down low, get in the back, get down low. Get down low, don't come by the window looking out, nothing that we ain't got any concern to do when I get down low.
A tenant who rents a room at the house where Taylor was shot told CBC she wasn't at home during the ordeal, but fears she could have been killed if she was there.
I want to move out. Like, honestly, I want to move out because I could be in there sleeping at night and the somebody that shoot could come back. Yeah.
Another resident also expressed frustration about the increasing violence.
I think it's about time that people start sweeping this thing under the rug and they let the whole public of Barbados know that we have a very serious problem. Very serious problem. The police, I guess the police need to do more patrols. They need to, it's just sickening. Because as a mother that lost a child, I know the feeling of another mother.
Many residents in the Gall Hill area can speak about losing a friend or family member to gun violence. Sean's aunt, Heather Taylor, who also lives nearby, says he's the second nephew killed in this way. She says both he and Orwin Moore, gunned down the night before, were friends who all hung out with the same people.
I had no bearings. I couldn't even keep up my own weight. You understand? Even when it was time to go to the hospital to identify him, I could not go. I wanted to, but I could not go. And then my daughter said, Mom, I'm not carrying you nowhere because I ain't able to live for you and me. I can't carry you. So I too, it's not a good feeling, you know. It's not a good feeling.
Miss Taylor says her nephew lost his mother at the age of 13. She says she treated him like her own son and insists that he was not a troublemaker.
I hear people say, as anything happened, the first thing they're going to say, he did a good boy, he did a good boy. But I can attest that he was a good boy. He didn't used to get in nothing. He didn't used to get in trouble. Because, you know, they hear people say frightened for his skin. Sean was one of those children that was frightened for his skin. So he didn't lose. It's not even a fight. Every year, we quarreling, Sean would say, behave when I behave. You know, he was that kind of child.
Meanwhile, senior officials from the Royal Barbados Police Force are expected to visit the Gall Hill area around 5 p.m. tomorrow to speak with residents about ongoing violence in the community. It's part of the force's strategy to help return Gall Hill to a state of normalcy. Kareem Smith, CBC News.
Thanks, Kareem. The Caribbean is known for its flair and fashion. We have some of the best of both on show right here at the Carifesta Grand Market. If you're checking out Carifesta's Grand Market at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, one place that you cannot miss is the Fashion Hall. Designers from all over the region have come together to present a top-class and extremely high-quality catalog of clothing. One of the first to catch our eye was Kimon Baptiste Rose of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
The name of my clothing label is Chemistic Clothing. Now, Chemistic Clothing encompasses two separate lines, a ready-to-wear line and an evening/formal/bridal line. Here at Carifesta, I've been promoting the bridal/evening line. It's very chic, very couture, but it still has that Caribbean flavor, because as Caribbean people, we can't lose that. That's what makes us unique. That, to me, is what should be our selling point. So my bridal collection is actually targeted to that bride who is bold enough to step away from the traditional. So we have white, yes, but we also have a splash of coloring there. So it may be yellow, it may be pink, it may be blush, and it may have some prints in there. So it's Caribbean couture.
Haiti has strong representation at Carifesta 13, and designer David Andre has an exquisite line.
Line is a resort wear line for women and men. They all made in my workshop in Haiti. The name of the line is C-Section by David Andre, and I get the inspiration especially from the Caribbean. If you read the tag, there's a little story saying that C-Section is a trendy unisex collection created in 2014 for both our national and international clientele, with a very strong passion for exotic holidays around the world. Our goal is to create clothes that bring comfort, ease, and elegance for the summers. And this line is timeless and suit every occasion. And the slogan is feel the heat, taste the sex appeal, feel the exotism, leave all the prohibited pleasures in exotic places, especially like Barbados and all around the Caribbean countries.
We all know Jamaica is no slouch when it comes to fashion.
I'm a fashion designer and fashion illustrator, so basically my brand has fashion illustrated products as well as clothing. The clothing I brought today here for Carifesta are illustrated items of clothing, so like even the top I have on, it's like my signature illustration and different products like that. I have a range of things that I have my illustrations on those. So I have mugs, pouches, calendars, you name it, I can put an illustration on it.
Bringing it home, and Barbadian designer with local brand Artemis, Jessica Reynolds, is loving the showpiece.
So basically what I do is take positive ideas and messages and just put them onto functional everyday items. So currently I'm here with my fashion products, which is the t-shirt line. Carifesta has been fun. I'm getting to interact with a lot of people, getting to know some people as well. So it's very much about learning about different people and different Caribbean people and stuff like that.
And not only the designers get to show their talent. There's a daily fashion show on the runway where models get to strut their stuff. We caught up with Barbadian Danielle Gill.
This opportunity for me is like pretty huge. Being short and all, it's pretty good. Like being among like some of the tallest models that there are in Barbados, modeling for international designers. It's pretty huge and amazing for me.
Carifesta 13 ends on August 27th. Guyanese artists in Barbados are looking more at making connections than making money during Carifesta 13. Featured Guyanese artist Winslow Craig, who spoke at the opening of Carifesta's visual arts, says the contingent is staying true to the values of Carifesta.
Networking, that's also one of the most important things, because, like I said before, we are here to share and we are here to learn. I meet a good artist, then I want to know what it is that you're doing, and I'm sure I can share something with you, and you might ask questions about what I'm doing. And so, like that, we learn from each other. Who knows? I might want to invite you to my studio to spend some time, and you might want to say, well, you know, do the same for me.
Curator for Guyanese art, Ohene Koama, says the work reflects Guyana's commitment to becoming a green state based on their concepts and materials.
We have trees who are recycled. We don't cut them down. So those trees that fell, they were used by artists and sculptors to create a second life, give it a secondary life. And in some cases, Winslow Craig, the main featured artist, he coined a few words. He coined the word sawdust with glue, right, to call it the word sawdough, to create a new technique, a new method of adding to an armature and then reshape the images to your finish in his likeness. So that's another way of recycling material.
There are several opportunities for the participants in CariFesta 13 to earn a living in markets outside of the Caribbean. And they're being told to grab them, but more importantly, to follow them up as well. Lisa Broom has more.
There are several impressive products and services at CariFesta 13, and one of those excited by the offerings on display is New Zealand's High Commissioner to Barbados, Jan Henderson.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity to showcase culture. So much in my world, in the world of diplomacy, we sit down and we talk foreign policy, and we don't often see that other aspect of a community, which is culture and festival and arts. So this is a great showcase.
Mrs. Henderson says there are several opportunities for Barbadians and other artists to sell their products in New Zealand.
New Zealand has a vibrant arts and festival culture as well. We have the Maori people who are Indigenous people, and their arts and crafts and passion is out of this world. And I just can see lots of ways that we could connect. So yes, I think there's lots of potential.
CARICOM's Assistant Secretary General, Dr. Douglas Slater, is also impressed with how the region's premier culture and arts festival has been going so far, despite some challenges. He too is excited about the trade opportunities that exist.
We would like ideally to have CariFesta be a sustainable activity where we can generate revenue from it, use the opportunity to have our artists to display, showcase their products, and to generate trade among ourselves and also internationally. There are opportunities for that, but we have to work aggressively in ensuring that that is so.
But Dr. Slater notes that the competition to get and keep the attention of buyers is tough.
We have so many products here that I think are worthy of doing so too, so it will be for the producers, the artists, to take the opportunity, find out how it can be done, and follow up on it so that they can earn, use it as a way of earning a living, and it brings in revenue to the region.
Through Caribbean Export and other agencies, buyers from North America and Europe have been invited to CariFesta. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Thanks, Lisa. We'll take a short break here and come back with more news.
We listened to what you had to say and tore up the old rules because losing what you paid for is just wrong. Now lost data and talk are a thing of the past. Only Digicel gives you unlimited rollover data and talk. Just buy and renew your Quick Pick bundle before it expires and keep what's rightfully yours. Never lose what you don't use. Go to My Digicel app to bundle up and roll over today. Digicel.
CariFesta for you, CariFesta for me.
From August 17th to 27th, the best of the Caribbean's performing arts will come alive at the amazing CariFesta 13 Barbados. So be a part of 10 days of amazing events, including signal events in dance, literary arts, and visual arts, the CariFesta Film Festival, the Youth Village at BCC, spectacular opening and closing ceremonies, and much more. Get your ticket for your favorite event online at carifesta.net or at ticketlinks.com and at all approved CariFesta box offices. This is CariFesta 13 Barbados. Be a part of it.
CariFesta 13 Barbados.
Flow brings you superior value in home entertainment, designed around the way you watch, talk, and connect. Introducing Flow Ultra, the new TV, broadband, and home phone plan with over 165 of your favorite TV and music channels, plus 175 megabits broadband, so you can surf faster and play harder. Get basic and advanced call features and 1,500 minutes of free international calls, all yours for only $230. Sign up for Flow Ultra and save over $180 per month. Flow Ultra, the superior value in home entertainment. New from Flow.
Principal of Queen's College, Dr. David Brown, says the success of his students in high-level exams is simply a reflection of the culture of excellence fostered at the school. He's been reacting to the 15 Barbados scholarships and 11 exhibitions copped by QC students this year. Rianne Phillips has that story.
Dr. Brown says excellence has been and continues to be a priority for the Queen's College team of teachers, students, parents, and the Board of Management. But he insists the institution is not competing against other local secondary schools to get more scholarships.
I want to make it clear that I don't benchmark it against Harrison College, because if we can't, Harrison College and Queen's College compete, the world will go along and leave us. So I benchmark it against educational institutions in the region, and I'm telling you that both these schools are doing well with the top schools in the region.
The Queen's College principal is proud of the teachers for their efforts.
The teachers work hard preparing the students for extra tuition. A lot of people don't know that during the Easter, they don't actually take any vacation. That they work in the Easter to put in the extra tuition to get the students up to scratch for the exams in May and June.
Meanwhile, some of this year's awardees use different methods to prepare for their exams.
Sometimes the hours are very long at night studying, because I'm not really a day studier, but I honestly never gave up because I'm a very persistent person and I know what my goal is and I will do anything that I have to do to achieve it.
It was a lot of preparation because the syllabi for CAPE subjects is kind of long, so you just got to spend time studying for the exam.
It was not a case of me dropping anything, because that didn't work for me. It was making sure that I always kept busy. So always staying on my social media, still staying in my books, still hanging out with friends, still making sure that I kept the interaction is what really got me through.
Some parents like Trudy Small did not have to push their children.
I know some parents had to play the role of pushing and encouraging, but my role was completely opposite. It was to pull back. Because when Toria begins to stress and worry about the work and stuff, it wasn't easy. So I am extremely, again, excited and proud of her achievement.
As the lone exhibition winner from the Christchurch Foundation, Azaria Ford is overjoyed.
When I saw my results for lower 6, I said, you know what, I can do this. And then when I realized I was the only person up for an exhibition or a scholarship, I said, I have to do this. And now that I have it, I'm just so honored. I feel so blessed by God. I'm very grateful. I'm also very humble.
Honestly, never gave
All
up
of these successful students plan to attend the UWI Cave Hill campus in the coming weeks. And of course, they are all hoping to maintain high academic standards. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Thanks, Rianne. Local teachers have received high praise for their work they've been doing with the country's youth. It's coming from Education Minister Ronald Jones, who acknowledges it's a complex profession which requires much effort.
It is a lonely task, it is a brutal task, because basically you're trying to get each one of those children who are different in every single way, including identical twins, where we find some of them in our schools. They're different. And when you have before you 20, 30, in some instances 33 children, working towards success, it means that you have to be 33 or 34 different persons to relate to their peculiarities and their various issues that will be brought into the classroom each and every day.
Minister Jones was addressing the recipients and parents of this year's Scholarship and Exhibition Awards. He believes many parents still have not realized the role they must play if their child is to be successful.
The single most important criteria for success of a child: parent interest, parent support, parent love, parent understanding. The single most important. And I know I'm speaking to those who have been part of the plow, those who have bent their knees, bent their pockets, bent their resources, who facilitated their children's learning. And it's manifested in those students who have been successful in gaining Barbados scholarships and Barbados exhibitions.
Doctors working in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital's Pediatric Department and Neonatal Intensive Care Unit are now better equipped to help sick children. This thanks to the Canadian Women's Club, which donated a fiber optic laryngoscope to the departments. The head of the Pediatric Intensive Care Unit says the $16,000 device will allow doctors to better see what goes on inside sick children.
This is an instrument which has fiber optic camera, which is useful for difficult airway management. Children who comes in respiratory failure, who have to be intubated, we have to pass the tube through the breathing passage tube. This tube helps by passing the, we can actually identify with the help of the camera, you can see what's going on inside and we can put the tube in easily.
Chairman of the Canadian Women's Club, Beverly McCollin Moore, says the group is happy to be a part of something important.
What can be more at risk than a child in a hospital? So it's a real privilege for us to be able to help in this way. We raise our money mostly by our golf tournament, which takes place in June of each year. And we have a team that works very hard on that, but then there's lots of fun when the golf day comes. So we all have a good time, and we're, as I said, it's a real privilege that we're able to help.
During the summer period, some parents have a dilemma. It's whether to send their children to an academic or fun camp. This year, the hosts of the Edu Fun Summer Camp came up with a solution, integrating both academics and fun. Coordinator Kelly Arthur says the program targets the development of children's communication, cognitive and intellectual skills. She was speaking as the campers toured the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Ms. Arthur says EduFun has been designed to prepare students for higher educational levels.
At EduFun Summer Camp, we offer math and English, we offer arts and craft, music, sports, life skills programs, basically everything fun and academic for our children.
After the break, we'll take a look at stories making headlines across the region.
Excuse me there. Listen, I hear something about that comedy show. Wait, really is. Wait,
it's all about Carrie Festa 2017!
Peoples, it's the Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th at the Cigar Feed Sober Gymnasium. ITM Fancy Cat from Jamaica, the legendary Larry Georgie from Trinidad and Tobago, and he's bringing along the new funny man, Kenneth Chinese Super Sad, with Dolores Alexander, the Drunken Saint, and Darren Mendoza, and the daddy of all comedy daddies, Errol Fabian. And Guyana got to be there, people. They're bringing Jumbi and Odessa Primus. That's right. And bringing it home is Trevor Dynamite, Ismail Lafitar, Rumiko, Queen Archibald Cox, and special guest Stiffy. General admission $65, and the IMF will be there. IMF Bengal is your MC. MC is mad and crazy. The Caribbean Comedy Explosion, Saturday, August 26th, the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. People, get your tickets from official box offices only.
Feel the difference with affordable air-conditioned units from Quartz. And right now, you can beat the heat with split units starting at only $1,299.99 or $16.25 weekly. Plus, get 50% off basic installation with the purchase of air-conditioned unit. So come in today and get the air-conditioned unit that gives you the cool comfort you want. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
The Minister of Public Infrastructure has tasked the Board of Directors of the Guyana Power and Light Company to produce a remedy for constant blackouts. Javon Vickery has more.
The Guyana Power and Light Company, in a statement to the public, explained that the reason for the recent bouts of blackouts across the country was due to a Bosch tree trimming exercise and a burnt-out jumper, among other issues. But since August 3, when the blackouts started, some areas are still experiencing, in some cases, long periods of blackouts. This has been brought to the attention of the authorities who have been monitoring the problem. And while acknowledging the issue, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson informed Nightly News in an invited comment that he, senior management of the power company, and the board of directors are in the process of rectifying the errors in the system.
But the board, we have come with a very short-term plan, which I've tasked them to sit down and interrogate them. Hopefully they're doing it as we speak. And it is meant to address the immediate areas which have been given us for the very, very immediate areas.
Minister Patterson further asserted that he is also aware of spells of low voltage which are currently being experienced by consumers in the Region 3 district. Is there anybody monitoring what is happening in terms of there's no catastrophe as a result of what's happening?
I would like to suspect that our operations team is monitoring it. The low voltage issue is obviously deals with the distances which the power is being fed from for those persons there. So we are looking at it, and I do suspect that the solution has already been put in place already.
GPL urged citizens to be careful when carrying out exercises close to GPL's network, since they can cause significant disruption and inconvenience, which in some cases translate to additional costs for the power company.
In St. Lucia, employees at the Central Sterilizing Unit of the Victoria Hospital protested yesterday over adverse working conditions at the institution.
The 130-year-old medical institution over the years has faced a number of structural and occupational health and safety issues consistent with a building of that age. But on Monday, employees of the Central Sterilization Unit had had enough. Crumbling infrastructure was at the crux of their concerns. They say it is hampering the capacity of this critical department to operate effectively. Senior Industrial Relations Specialist at the National Workers Union, Lawrence Poyot, visited the Victoria Hospital Monday morning.
The AC is not working. You have a seepage of water from the ceiling, which resulted in unnecessary moisture and the potential for mold. You also have a situation where the screens on the doors, which are supposed to prevent the influx of insects, all the screens are broken. And what makes it worse is the presence of a rubbish dump to the back. So given what is being done in the Central Sterilizing Unit and the implications for the employees decided that they should not continue working in there until the matter is resolved.
The Central Sterilization Unit comprises that service within the hospital in which medical and surgical supplies and equipment are cleaned, prepared, processed, stored and issued for patient care. As such, it is understandable that even issues like a leaky air conditioning unit and a nearby garbage dump would be of concern to employees there.
The next situation is one where the hospital, we gave them until 12 o'clock to address everything, and we're hoping that good sense would prevail and that it would be addressed by 12.
A peek into the world of sports is just ahead, but before we get there, here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Trying to use the ATM during daytime hours. If you must use an ATM at night, take someone with you. This ATM safety tip is brought to you in association with the Royal Barbados Police Force.